Coming up on the Making Waves VO podcast.
You know, if you're going to be, on edge about waiting for $300 for 4 months or 3 months,
Mm-hmm.
you may not be in it for voiceover then.
Making waves.
Making waves.
Making waves.
Making waves. Making waves.
Making waves.
Making waves.
Making waves. Making waves.
This is the Making Waves VO podcast with Kevin Kilpatrick and Bobbi Maxwell.
It is the Making Waves VO podcast, presented by Full Compass, fullcompass.com. Fullcompass.com.
We know VO.
Yeah, sorry, Bobby. I didn't tee up properly. I kind of made it.
Let's do it again.
it was super. No, let's just go. We're good. This is voiceover. We're just having fun. We're just a couple of voiceover people and having a good time talking about voiceover. And today, Bobby, I don't know. You had a good idea. What spurred this idea to talk about money?
Because I started doing my taxes this week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's been a slow couple of weeks, and I was talking to somebody about this yesterday. It's a perfect time to do your taxes and marketing and getting additional coaching when it's slow like this. And yeah, taxes. Have you started?
No. I'm always Captain Extension, and yeah, it's fait accompli every year. Like, yeah, I'm doing that extension, yo. But every year it's like I'm of the mindset. It's like, no, I'm gonna do it this year. I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna get all my QuickBooks taken care of, and it's a pain in the ass. And I'm not whining too much, but I have a lot to do when it comes to tax time. Because I have, probably over a dozen talent that I gotta, ship the, what are they, W-2s to, I guess?
1099s.
1099s.
Yeah.
1099s. All those, and got to make sure those are squared away and the numbers match up in QuickBooks and all these different things. So, yes, I file an extension every single year, Bobby.
And they never come. I mean, that's not like a red flag or anything.
Don't you curse me. Don't you curse me. Get me an audit. I am going to drive north and beat up your husband if I get audited.
Last year, I had to get an extension on my payments because, as you remember, I bought a house in 23 that I had to take some money out of my savings, and so they got me. They got me. So, but it all worked out.
Man, I got a notice the other day from the tax man, and it said, Kevin,
Taxman.
Yeah, we issued you a refund in 2022, and you never cashed it. I'm
What?
like, what? Yeah, exactly. And it was like $4,000. I'm like, what? And
was it a check or did they?
Yeah. They said it was a check, and they said call us. And I'm like, is this a scam? I'm like, no, it is legit. And no, I mean, they asked me several security questions that only the IRS would ask.
That's a lot of money, dude.
I know. I have no idea how that happened. Other than, I don't look through my mail like I used to because it's like mostly junk. I mean, most stuff I get is, automatic deposit, or it's Venmo, it's PayPal, all these kinds of things. So
see, that's like found money. So now you can go to the Italy voiceover conference.
Oh, you are funny, Bobby. You are funny. I actually saw that this morning, and she's talking about the J. Michael Collins Euro retreat, which is happening in the fall in Italy, and actually saw that they had one opening, but it was for a female for a shared room.
Oh, so Deborah wouldn't be okay if you stayed in one side of the room.
I don't think so. I doubt that.
Nor would Steve.
But you'll be there, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're doing that.
Yeah.
And is the investment worth it? I think it is, in the long run. I've done a few of those, and, we're talking about money. So let's talk about investing in our career. Those kinds of things we need to do all the time. I was in a workout last night. I was in a workout like 2 weeks ago, and just... It just got to stay sharp. Keep investing that money in yourself.
Well, yeah, and especially come tax time because those are all write-offs. And that's every time I do taxes, it's like, okay, I said I was going to not do as many of them, but you need to get them in there if you want some write-offs. And they are benefiting you. It really is investing in your career.
Yeah, it's what is it, about 20% off basically for the tax part
Is
of
that
it?
what it is? Yeah. I gave it to my guy.
Yeah. But I think I
Worker
did the
magic.
math. I think I looked at it one time, and I think it was basically, yeah, somewhere in there. I could be way off. There might be, people that are accountants that are trying to transition to voiceover listening to this right now going, Kevin, you're a clown. Don't even try to do accounting stuff. But I thought it was around 20% or so.
Well, let's talk about that. What are write-offs when you're doing your taxes that maybe you and I do and people haven't thought about? Because I try to do anything and everything I can.
Here's something that I wonder would be a write-off. And I would do it. I would do it. I haven't though, but I would. I have not written off going to the movies as a write-off because it's research, Bobbi. I'm studying acting.
Yes, and trailers, right?
Yeah, and trailers. I mean, my gosh, you could make a big-time argument for that.
Well, I write off my subscriptions to the streaming services because I listen to the promos.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I need to do that.
Yeah, you really do.
I feel like that could be legit.
And ESPN, because I do some sports stuff. Yeah, any of those services, that monthly services. My guy said it's fine.
That's a great idea. I had not even thought about all the streaming stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I might be introducing that year because if you think about I'm a junkie when it comes to that stuff. I grew up on television. So I love TV. I love that kind of entertainment. And so I have a lot of the streaming stuff. I got Max, Netflix, Hulu, Prime, Paramount.
Yeah, they add up.
And I have DirecTV.
And wait a minute, you have DirecTV? You live in the woods.
I know. It's thankfully we got fiber here, and it works great.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah, it's run through internet and not satellite anymore. So,
Wow.
yeah, the satellite dishes are. I don't know if they may be all but gone. I'm sure a lot of the rural areas still have to use them, but no, I'm a little bit out in a rural area, but yeah, we have fiber out here.
Do you know that I barely get the local TV channels where I'm at?
You don't have any kind of cable or anything?
No, we don't have cable.
Okay.
You just the streaming services and YouTube. But what Steve kind of rigged something up. It's one of those little antennas that run from your. It looks like a paper sheet cover thing, and when I want to watch a football game, I will take this thing and I'll hang it over my front door, stretching from the television, so I can get the service, or so I can pick up the games.
That is so sad. Do you have to wrap aluminum foil around it too and stretch it out some more, create your own rabbit ears out of it?
I might. I just
Man.
laugh. Yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, we digress here.
That's a great idea, though, to write off the streaming services on taxes.
You write off your phone, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see. Taxes. Yeah, we're talking about taxes. What other things could you write off? I mean, I would consider a lot of entertainment-y type stuff, in anything that you're sitting in front of or listening to, even Spotify,
Yeah.
Pandora. I would think you could write that, check with your tax preparer. Okay, now we're legally covered, Bobbi. Now we can say whatever we want. Make sure to check with your tax preparer.
Yeah, there we go. It's in there. Whenever I travel, and I travel a lot, I write off the trip if I even did one job.
Yeah.
And once again, it's a percentage, but almost every time I travel, I do work, so they're in there.
Yeah. Make sure to look for those write-offs. It's if you're like me and you go through your QuickBooks or whatever your accounting is and you look at all the expenses and then you go, oh, I can categorize that as a work expense. Oh, I can categorize that. And it just starts adding up like $20, $20, $20, $50, $80, $10. It all adds up to several $100s that you could write off for some several $1,000s.
Absolutely. Yeah. I know postage has kind of gone away over the years, but if I send out client gifts, I'll include any postage that I did or, stamps.
Thank you for my gift, by the way. I don't think I've ever thanked you for my gift. You can write that off.
It's already on there, baby.
I will be golfing, thanks to Bobbi Maxwell, at probably one of the top 5 golf courses in all of Tennessee.
Oh, is it? Yeah. It's
it's one of my favorites, Gaylord.
Yeah.
It's at Gaylord Springs in Nashville, and whenever I want to feel fancy, that's where I go play a little golf.
So you might be able to play this week with the temps.
Thank you. I actually already checked. I actually looked at tee times for there this weekend. It's really crowded this weekend.
Oh, that.
So I may give it a little more time to where I could plan it out a little bit further in advance.
Yeah.
But I will be using that. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And that's a great write-off, gifts for clients.
Yep. Definitely think about the webinars and all that. You have to do that. That's just kind of like a no-brainer. Or coaching.
Coaching, yep.
Demos.
That falls under training and learning and
new demos, new equipment.
Your website, all that stuff. Yeah, don't forget all the gear, even the smallest of cables. Even, like monitors, extra monitors that you may have to buy to pair with stuff. It's stuff that you don't even think about that you go, oh, yeah, I can write that off. Paper, ink for your printer, all these kinds of things.
And payment methods, if you use like QuickBooks or PayPal, even if you on your credit card, if there's a percentage point or a percentage taken out or something like that, as long as it's going to a client, it's within work reasons, absolutely write it off.
Don't go anywhere. The Making Waves VO podcast returns in a moment.
What up, what up? It's Erica J., voice actor, singer, writer, water snob, and tired mom. Here on the Making Waves podcast with Kevin and Bobbi. Because the Making MP3s podcast just doesn't have a good ring to it at all.
You know what I love about Full Compass, Bobbi?
What's that, Kev?
All the sales. And they are having a winter clearance sale going on right now at Full Compass, where you can save up to, get this, 83%.
Wow.
Bobbi, my Arkansas high school math skills may be wrong, but to me, that's a lot.
That is a lot. 83%?
Uh-huh.
Ooh, I'm looking here. They have a lot of speakers that have been marked down. They have a Mackie 1600-watt speaker that's, 45% off. Very cool. They have Yamaha speakers, 66% off. Nice.
So what we do in our world, we need gear, right? We need it all the time. Sometimes we want to upgrade. Maybe you want a new interface. Well, check this out. You can get a new interface on sale right now, a Universal Audio Volt 476 for 35% off.
Wow.
35% off. Now that thing lists at $459, and so now it's $299 for a limited time. That is a great deal. There's other interfaces on sale, but all kinds of gear for everything you might need in your studio.
And don't forget that Full Compass always has the low price guarantee, and they have a free 2-year service and repair plan. Plus, they can do free shipping on orders over $49. This is an amazing sale.
If you have questions about your purchase and you want that knowledge, that feeling of knowing that you've got the right thing for your needs, call and talk to one of the friendly professionals there at Full Compass at 800-356-5844. Exceptional service since 1977 at Full Compass. FullCompass.com.
We know VO. And now back to Making Waves.
Very good. Well, that's a good microcosm on taxes and what you can write off. Anything else that you can think of regarding taxes?
No, I think we covered a lot of it.
Very good. Okay, so we talked about, sending money out to Uncle Sam, but, getting it back how we can in forms of, write-offs. But what about getting paid, Bobbi? What about all the ways we get paid? What are the different ways you get paid from clients?
Oh, gosh. The bulk of it is through QuickBooks. And then PayPal. There are still a lot that use PayPal, especially if they want to get paid quickly. When I was doing political, one of my consultants would just like, I'm going to pay it right now. And he would use PayPal. A few are starting to go to ACH. And it's interesting because this is also another reason how I thought of this topic is one of my big casino clients always mailed a check from Cincinnati, where they're in Indiana, where they're based. And they just switched over next month to ACH because postage is outrageous now. And when you think about how many checks they have to send out as a casino, it was a smart move. It's probably saving them a lot of money and so much easier.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. I get paid direct deposit,
Yep.
Venmo, PayPal. I've been paid through Wise, which is like an international kind of thing.
I've never used that, but I've heard about it. Is there
It's
a
solid,
certain
yeah.
benefit?
I don't know enough about it other than to know that it was safe, secure, and wise.
That's the name.
So direct deposit check, cash.
What about Cash App?
Cash App. I have received money via Cash App. I'm trying to think in my career, like if there's been any interesting ways I've been paid. Of course, I've bartered services in the past for somebody that I needed something. Could have been website development. It might have been a
Yeah.
voiceover I needed. I've bartered stuff before. But my favorite way to get paid is direct deposit. I mean, that kind of makes sense. Let me go on the other side of that too, Bobbi. We're talking about how we get paid.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the conveniences of paying folks because, as you know, I pay, like I said, probably a dozen or so folks a month. And I pay them in all kinds of ways. I generate checks from my bank account. That is one way to do it. And I go in there, and it's pretty convenient because once you get the name in the system, you just start typing in the name, and it'll generate their address and all these things. And it'll say, do you want to pay this same amount as last month? And I'm like, no, I got to change that. I enter the memo, and that's done. Boom, click, 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 click. No postage.
Is it a digital check?
Yes.
Nice.
So it gets generated. The bank generates it, and it is all digital. I don't have to sign it. It's already done and pre-done and all that stuff. So I pay, 2 or 3 folks a month via that way. The majority of folks I pay like you, either through QuickBooks, which P.S. is my absolute favorite way to pay because it's so simple. Bobbi, you send me an invoice, and it comes from QuickBooks. It's like, Kevin, Bobbi sent you an invoice. Do you want to pay now? And I'm like, no, but I'll go ahead and do it. No. I click it, and it's like, because I'm also on QuickBooks. That's what makes it so simple. It's all done through QuickBooks. It's like, click here, pay. It's literally like, I think 3 clicks.
Wow.
Literally. And because, so that's my absolute favorite way to pay. Now, somebody that's not on QuickBooks, and it's a wire transfer, like my boy Rob Reed. Rob will send me an invoice, and it's a pay through a bank account kind of a thing. I click it. I have to enter my banking information. It's still more convenient than handwriting a check, though. So that way is not so bad. And then I do PayPal. I pay, 3 or 4 talent a month via PayPal, always avoiding the fees, always paying friends and family.
And they're okay with pay. I thought PayPal really struck down on that, on friends and family.
Well, they did, and they have. But PayPal is going to, they were either starting it in 23 or 24, where they simply created a 1099 based on money coming in.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was like an automatic thing being done through PayPal and Venmo for people getting paid. So it was starting to get reported to the IRS is what's happening.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's why PayPal started loosening up on that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And they're like, it's getting tracked regardless.
Well, I only pay a few people, and you're one of them because you help me with production. And I almost always use Venmo. It's just so convenient.
Yeah.
and then it comes out of my checking account. And like I said, I don't pay that many people, but I will hire a voice every once in a while, or like you with production. Oh, by the way, speaking of payments, did you see this week that Google is going to, and I hope I'm right in saying this, is going to start charging for reCAPTCHA? Did you get?
No.
Yeah, my
That's you making sure it's not a bot thing,
yes,
right?
exactly. Yes. My web host sent an email out because I received an email from Google saying that they were doing this, and then the same day I received an email from the guy who hosts my websites, and he said that he got something. I've got to look into it. I don't know what I'm going to be charging because I don't know what they're going to be charging yet. But it's like, seriously, Google, you don't make enough money.
Yeah.
You're going to charge now for reCAPTCHA?
Exactly.
Wow.
Another
tax write-off.
Yeah, I think it is. And speaking of tax write-offs, I don't know if we mentioned, did we mention demos to write off those demos?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we talked about ways of getting paid. And I'm trying to think of any interesting ways I've been paid. Barter. I guess nothing crazy. I think I've been handed cash in the past. Credit card.
How does barter, speaking of that, how does barter work with your radio imaging for people who might not understand it?
Okay, yeah, it's a great question. So let's say I'm doing some radio imaging for a radio station in Texas, and the radio station in Texas sends me the script, right? I do the script. Well, Benstown, who is a outfit for providing radio imaging and talent, they will provide a barter service wherein they will go to an advertiser. And Benstown, let's say Benstown goes to Love's Travel Centers. They go to Love's Travel Centers.
Yay!
Hey, Love's Travel Centers, would you like to run some advertising on a radio station in Texas? And Love's will say, yeah. Okay. And so Benstown will take the cash that they earn from Love's, and they will send Kevin that money. Well, then they run the commercials on the radio station that Kevin voices. And the radio station pays no cash out of their pocket, but they offer up the inventory of the commercials. So Love's gets the commercials aired. The radio station is not out any cash. Kevin makes money. Benstown makes commission, and everybody is happy.
Is there a delay in payment because of that for you?
I would get paid once a quarter from them, and I didn't mind. If you're going to be, on edge about waiting for $300 for 4 months or 3 months, you may not be in it for voiceover then.
Okay.
It may not be in it for you. That's what I'm saying, though. So, because I have heard people that are like, man, it takes them 3 months to pay. And I'm like, so? Is that the only money you're making? That's their model. Just get comfortable with the model and do the work and be grateful for the work.
Yeah, you'll get something every quarter.
Yeah. And it's like that, the found money. It's like, oh, yeah, cool. We can go out to dinner,
Right.
Nice stuff.
Hey, it's Bill DeWeese. You can splish splash around in voiceover, or you can make some waves, like my good friends Kevin and Bobbi, on the Making Waves VO podcast.
If we're talking about getting paid, what about collecting?
I was just saying, what a great time to move over into this.
Yeah, and I've done some things in the past that I'm not super proud of, but they have been effective in getting my money.
Yeah.
But what about you? Let's talk about your collection history. And for the most part, have you had good success with your clients, or have you had to get a little firm with them?
I'll tell you what, 2024, I was looking back on that when I was doing my taxes. I really did not have any clients that were just like I had to beg or, find other ways to get their attention. But before that, I had one in Guam. It was an automotive dealership. and the guy lived in Phoenix, but he, I guess, brokered for the dealership because he was Polynesian himself. So I think he would wait on that money because I had to like beg and beg and beg. It's like you're outstanding 3 months or sometimes 6 months. It was terrible. And I think I finally said, well, would it be easier for me to go through the radio station that's airing the spots? And right then they know it's like, I'm writing a check right now, or I'm doing an ACH right now. But that always works if you threaten, and I, again, hate to use that word, but you go to the client directly.
That's it. And that's my method too, Bobbi. That's what I found out probably in 2006, 2007. This client was stiffing me, and I knew it. I knew it. And I did the same thing. It was for a car spot. And I went to and he was an agent. He was an automotive agency. And I said, I don't know, I was probably 9 months out. Look, I'm a little bit different now, by the way, in terms of collecting money. I'm not near as aggressive as I was back then, but back then it was so personal to me because I put everything into it, and it's my heart and soul, and it's my work, and it's my only source of income. So it was a lot more personal at the time.
Yeah.
But even still, I was pretty professional. But I would wait, hey, 60 days. Hey, you got this coming? Yeah, we're waiting on payment. 90 days. Hey, did they send you payment? Oh, yeah, we're still waiting. Okay, I get to 120 days or so, whatever it was. And I did the same thing. I was like, hey, maybe I was misunderstanding. Did I need to go directly to the car dealer to try to collect this? And of course, they don't want to be embarrassed because they haven't paid their bills. And if you're an automotive dealership or you're an agency and you hire somebody in the middle to do some stuff for you, you do not. That person that is in the middle, you don't want them to be embarrassed because they're not paying the bills. And so, yeah, I've had to do that. I want to say it was twice, maybe 3 times in my whole career in 21 years. But man, it worked quick. It worked quick.
It sure does. And the nice thing about QuickBooks too and invoicing is they have that reminder email that they'll send out. They'll actually remind you, if it's been 60 days, they'll say, we've already put together a reminder email. Would you like us to send it? And I think a lot of clients or the agencies or whoever's, you're working directly with, they just forget to. And as soon as they get a reminder, that's all it takes. It's just, they've got a lot going on, and that's always helpful.
Yeah, 99 times out of 100, it's going to be just like that, like Bobbi said. I got a notice from Chris, one of the talents here, and he sent it to me like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Yeah, right before the end of the year. And he's like, Kev, I'm just catching up on my end of the year bookkeeping, and I noticed, I think it was like $50. And he was like, I can't find payment for this. And I get horrified because I don't want to miss paying somebody. And here's my philosophy, Bobbi, by the way. I'm hiring you, right? I'm hiring Bobbi Maxwell to read this spot. I'm hiring you, essentially.
Yep.
Okay. I'm responsible for paying you. I'm not waiting on the client to pay me and then I pay you and it's like 60 to 90 days. No, it's incumbent on me to collect the money that I'm earning and then, have that sorted out. But I hire you, I'm paying you no matter what. And I've had people do that. Well, I hadn't got paid by the client yet. So does that mean if you don't get paid by the client, I'm not getting paid? No, brother, that's not how that works. I'm getting mine. So anyway, so he sent me that note and I'm like, oh my God. And so what, and this, you talk about systems in place that House of Cards could collapse it. That's Kevin's bookkeeping system. Aww. So it's not that bad.
No, so, you are great at paying.
Well, thank you. But behind the scenes, I'm gonna open up the curtain for you, Bobbi.
Uh-oh.
So I get an invoice from Bobbi.
Yeah.
What do? Nothing. I don't look at it. I don't open it. I let it be. And Bobbi probably can attest that it's probably about the last week of the month that I pay all my bills. So yeah, once a month, I'm doing all that stuff. So what I do is at bill time, I go, okay, it's time to pay bills. I put in the search bar of my Gmail invoice. I select unread. I select with attachment. I select. Let's go. And then
Really?
every single month, everybody's invoice is right there, ready to go. No kidding.
I've noticed with you that you pay usually in the evening time, and I can so see you sitting in front of the TV with a glass of bourbon going, oh, yeah, I got to pay. Because it's usually at the same time of the day every month.
It could be the bourbon, Bobbi. It could be a glass of red wine, or it might be baked out of my mind on a gummy.
Oh, my, here we go again.
But if I ever add one too many zeros, you better tell me.
Oh, that's never happened.
Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So Chris's thing was like from September, and I'm like, dude. First of all, apologies, and I'm horrified that I missed a $50 payment. But what happened was I probably clicked open and then did not mark it as unread. And so, yeah, that's my system. It seems to work. I got an interesting story. So about collecting, going back to collections. Mm-hmm. And I think I've told you this story. But back in the mid 2000s, like 2012, 13, 14, 15 in there. I think this was right before you and I met, but I had a video production company. I had 3 employees. We were producing video content for a local movie theater. We were producing local commercials, all these different kinds of things. And we were producing some local music videos for some up-and-coming country stars.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Do you recall the old country singer Keith Whitley? From
absolutely.
Mid to late 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't recall him, he had songs, Don't Close Your Eyes, Don't Close Your Eyes, Let It Be Me. Didn't
he die?
Yeah.
Cancer or something like that?
Well, he drank himself to death. He died from alcohol poisoning.
Because he was dating a female
Lori Morgan.
singer. Yeah.
And that's where this is going.
Okay,
so,
go ahead.
So Keith Whitley, man, he was a bottle rocket on the rise in country music, hit after hit after hit. But you know, as we all know, we all have our demons, right? And his, I guess, was alcohol. But he was with Lori Morgan at the time, another country singer, and their kid, Jesse Keith Whitley, was an up and coming country star. And he was doing a gig near where I was playing, and I happened to know a guy that produced video content at a bar where they were playing. And he's like, Kev, I'm going to film this guy, and we're going to create a music video out of this performance. And he's like, do you want in? I'm like, yeah, that's great. And he goes, now you'll be, and he made it clear you're going to be working directly with Jesse Keith Whitley, his manager. Great. Anyway, long story short, Bobbi, this was, 12 years ago, 13 years ago, and I'm fledgling. Like, I'm just trying to get some videos made and just get some good content under my belt. And so I charged this guy $900. Very cheap for the amount of work that my employees put in that had to go there and film. We had like 3 cameras out there, and then we took everything in post and made a nice video. I only charged him $900. He stiffed me.
No.
He stiffed me.
Aww.
Yeah, and it's like the only I had no real recourse other than just send threatening letters. I reached out to an attorney, and they're like, Kevin, I'm going to bill you more than $900. So
True.
So there's that. So the only thing I was able to do is they posted the video on YouTube many years ago, and I went in and put a comment on the YouTube page, and I was like, I produced this video. My company produced this video. We were not paid for this video. I demand that it be removed. And it was taken down. So at least there was that.
Oh, wow. So it was kind of like your little personal cease and desist.
Yeah, my little vendetta. That's just an interesting little collection story that I had that I did get stiffed on. I got stiffed by a guy in Poland one time years ago. Of course, there's nothing you can do on that. It was a lesson learned, though. Anytime I'm with overseas or doing anything overseas, I need a deposit or I'm not sending any audio. If I'm sending any audio, I'm going to throw some music in the background or I'm going to watermark it somehow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, until I get paid.
I lost my one of my few, I don't do that much radio imaging clients because they weren't paying me, and I sent reminders all the time. It's a small market. And finally just I got into it with the person who was paying me, the program director, and it was nasty. It was a series of texts going back and forth, and I just said, I'm done. I cannot continue to do this free. And he just got really defensive, and I called his boss. I called the general manager.
Good.
Yeah. And they never did pay me. The general manager even was like, I'm staying clear of this. And then once that happened, the program director reached back out again, more mad than ever. And it was bad. But you know what really, really upset me the most? After I left, this station hired a very well-known trailer guy who's now doing imaging as their voice.
Oh,
and I don't
think
want to.
This is ringing a bell now.
Yeah, you know who it is.
Yeah.
And I was just like, how are you going to afford to pay him when we were in arrears 6 months, 9 months, and
That is jacked up.
yeah.
That's jacked up.
And when the VO posted on it, on his social media, I almost did what you did with the YouTube thing. It was like, good luck. Good luck on getting paid. But
What grounds did the program director have? I mean, here's the black and white of it. Did Bobbi provide voiceover? Yes. Did you pay Bobbi for provided voiceover? No.
No.
What's not
crazy.
clear about that?
It was always, the budget. It's like, you hired me knowing we set a set figure. So, yeah, I still have bitter feelings about that. You don't want to miss what's next. Making Waves returns momentarily.
This is Tracy Thibodeau, and you've got the best VO podcast in all the land right here. The Making Waves VO podcast with Kevin and Bobbi. Enjoy.
Full Compass is your one-stop destination for cutting-edge audio, video, and lighting solutions. With nearly 50 years of industry expertise, we offer a vast selection of high-quality equipment, from microphones, recording interfaces, and software, to audio accessories, monitors, headphones, and other pieces to help you find your ideal sound. Our trained product experts are here to help every step of the way with unmatched customer service. You'll also get free same-day shipping, flexible financing options, and a low-price guarantee. Visit us online at fullcompass.com or call 800-356-5844 today.
Making Waves returns.
So let's move on to something that I've been seeing speaking of social media, popping up more and more on the voiceover group pages is the overpayment scams right now. Not so much the game show host thing, but it's like a legit company will reach out, and it's usually from overseas. And they want to hire you, and they have to, when it comes time to pay you, there's somebody else that comes in and they want you to send them money. Yeah. And if like I said, if you're on any of those social media voiceover groups, you'll see it every once in a while, but they it's like a red alert, or what is it? Red flags.
Yeah.
And they'll put the company's names. I think Trans something is one of them they said to watch out for.
Yeah, just an overall cautionary tale, a warning for those that are in voiceover, just getting into voiceover. Thankfully, I've never been scammed, other than, a couple of times I've mentioned I've been hosed out of some money. But I've never been scammed like they were telling me it's a job, but then they were just actually scamming me out of money. I've just been stiffed. But it's just a good reminder to be thankful for our regular clients and our good jobs that do come in. But if you do get something that comes in and it just seems fishy, or there's something about it that just doesn't seem right, dig into it, do some research, try to be, I'd say secretive about it. I would avoid going on Facebook at first. Just see what you can come up with on your own. Reach out to some close colleagues, like Bobbi will reach out to me. I'll reach out to Bobbi. I'll reach out to Rob Reed. Rob Reed will reach out to Bobbi. And it's just like, create your own little group of friends. Hey, have you heard of this? Have you heard anything bad about this? Before you go on Facebook and put yourself out there like that. Just see what you can come up with on your own, because as much as we love our Facebook voiceover communities, sometimes they can be a little catty.
Yeah, think. Oh, speaking of that, there is a voiceover red flags group on Facebook. Yeah. Just put that in the search. It'll pop up. And yeah, that's very, very helpful to just, if you're having any doubt whatsoever, to go in there and see if it's already been listed.
Yeah, and this is an amazing community that we've got going for us in the voiceover world, and it's stronger than ever. And I encourage all of us to just keep going and keep sharing ideas and keep sharing these stories so we can defend ourselves against those clowns and scammers and miscreants and ne'er-do-wells that want to take our money.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, we got to look out for each other and keep sharing ideas and stuff like that. So
Yeah, absolutely. Good luck in getting everything for your taxes, because 'tis the season.
'Tis the season. Let's see, financial, money, collecting taxes. The only other thing I can think of, Bobby, that might be beneficial is to stay strong as you can with your rates.
Yeah.
And it's getting out there more and more and more to the buyers and to the clients where our rates are and should be. So continue to educate. Continue to, stand up for yourself in terms of rates. But Bobby and I are never going to be the kinds that, will rate shame you.
Right,
You
right.
got to do what's best for you in your world.
And
So,
it doesn't hurt to push back. You may think
yeah.
you're gonna lose this job, but just ask. Say, well, that's typically lower than my rates. Can we push it up a little bit in the budget? It's not going to hurt to ask.
Okay, and I don't think, because I've been so reticent to mention his name because he's got such a cool thing going, and I don't think he would mind me sharing just this tiny little tidbit, but I'm talking about Vince Labica from DPN. Vince is such a cool cat. He's an agent at DPN. He's been with him for a dozen years, and he's an amazing negotiator. Vince loves numbers, and I'm going to reach out to him to try to get him as a guest on the podcast.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, he loves numbers, and he told us this one little trick, and again, I don't think he'd mind me sharing this one little trick. But when you are negotiating, because he's all about, he wants to empower us to be self-negotiators, when we don't have representation. So let's just throw out, a project. Bobby, give me some sort of project, any kind of project, any genre.
You want a specific client?
No, it could be any a genre. Let's say a national television commercial that we are self-negotiating.
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
great one. Okay.
Yeah, so a national TV broadcast commercial that we are self-negotiating.
Let's go with Chewy.com. Okay.
Chewy, yeah, let's just say it's Chewy. Chewy is the brand, and let's say there is an agency, a commercial advertising agency that has found you somehow, and they are reaching out with the budget. Okay, and they say, Bobby, we love you. Your sound is great. We want to hire you. P.S. Never agree to a booking without knowing the numbers. Term and
True.
use. Term and use. Rate and use. Rate, term, use. Okay. So Chewy wants to hire Bobby, and they say, Bobby, we've got $1,000 for you. And this is going to run for 1 year. And what is the first thing we need to do if we're not union? Let's go to the GVAA rate guide.
Right. Yep.
Rate guide. Okay, and I'm just throwing out that number, right, because I have an idea of where this is going to be. Let me just jump onto the rate guide here really quick. And we love our friends at the rate guide, by the way. If you've used that, feel free to throw them a donation, even if you throw them $30.
Yeah.
If you've used it, maybe consider a small little donation. Okay, here we are. 1 year. Oh, okay. Okay, so this is not bad. Okay, so 1 year, and they came to you with $1,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to do is go to the very top of the GVAA rate guide for that usage. That's a local spot. Okay, national spot, 1 year. Top of that range is $2,800. Let me get my calculator.
And that is, what's the usage on that, though?
That's
Is
a
it
year. That is 1 year.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Oh, wait. No. I'm sorry. I needed to go down one more. That was regional.
Mm-hmm.
1 year national. By the way, national is 4 states plus is what they're saying.
Right.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Okay, so national 4 states plus. We're on the GVAA rate guide. And 1 year, the top end of that is $3,500. Okay, so now they have offered $1,000, right? Okay, so we are going to then divide the offered rate. They offered us $1,000.
Yep.
We're going to divide that by $3,500, which is the top end GVAA rate guide. Bobbi, they have offered you 28% of the going rate.
Wow.
Now, when Vince was telling this story, he brought up a story of another gal that implemented this negotiating technique and did the same exact thing to the client. Thank you so much for this kind offer. I'm pausing to let you know that that's only about 28% of the going rate. That client felt embarrassed and ashamed. And they said, what if we can get you up to like 80% of that rate? And the talent was fine. They were like, great. And that's just the art of self-negotiation. So to break that down, take the rate offered. Go to the top range of the GVAA rate guide and divide that into the offered rate. And then you'll get your percentage. You'll get a 0.028 is what I got. So you got, they offered you, Bobbi, 20, and you're worth much more than 28. You're worth like 30%.
And I did something that a lot of people do when you were first, mentioning who it was, and it was a, 15-second spot, whatever. I didn't really hear you say a year. That's why I said, what's the usage? I was thinking more like 13 weeks. So I'm going, well, that's not too terribly bad. But that's where you have to pay attention is how long is it running?
Yep. That's it. And $1,000, a lot of people would be very happy with $1,000 for a year usage.
You see that on pay to play all the time.
Yeah, but we don't have to accept it. And if we keep educating and, but it is going to happen. People are going to do it. But we can continue to fight for it,
What's up? This your boy Trey Mosley. And this is the Making Waves VO podcast with Double K, Kevin Kilpatrick, and my girl, Bobbi Maxwell. Give a listen, y'all.
It's funny. On our last podcast, you asked our guest, it was Erica. You asked Erica J. What was surprising to her about voiceover since she's gotten into it?
Yeah.
And I wanted to answer that question so bad.
Go ahead.
And I've been doing it 21 years. I still get surprised at how much money you can make.
I know.
I still get surprised. I hear some of these numbers that are thrown around. I'm like, my gosh. But we all can dream. We can all have goals. We can all have something to strive for. And for me, it's not this has been the money issue, the money episode of the Making Waves VO podcast. But for me, I got into this, and I know you did too, not about the money. It was a way to make a living, but doing what we love, doing what makes us feel creative and having fun. And the money then was secondary.
Yeah, because if you think about it, when you're actually getting your thoughts together and then recording and putting that spot together to send it out or an audition to send out, well, let's just go with a job. It's not nearly as much fun for you to send out that invoice as it is the creative process as an artist. So,
that's it.
Yep.
That's it. For us. Now, I do know some people that are more money-minded, and this is a means to that money. Good for you. Your head is wired differently than mine. I'm more fun, and then the money is a byproduct. We all have to make a living. I know that part, but to me, that's what it's always been about. And it's only been in the last few years that I've really gotten concerned about the money side of it. Because I think about retirement.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, some good things we covered today. I mean,
I think so too.
We have to make money to have a living. So hopefully this will be beneficial to some people who are just starting out or people who are just moving along in their career.
I know this episode's running a little bit long, but can we let it run just a hair longer, Bobbi? I want to do something really quick.
I got to charge you, though.
I'll pay. It'll be on time. I want to get Lacey. Lacey is our editor and producer, and Lacey is also an amazing voice actor herself. Lacey, would you unmute your microphone really quick?
She's going, uh-oh.
Lacey's taking a nap. Lacey monitors in the background. For those that don't know, Lacey monitors in the background for the majority of our episodes so she can take notes and, make edits as needed. But Lacey, you heard all this money talk. Was there anything that came to your mind that we talked about or that made you more curious and had a question, or anything that we didn't cover that you'd be curious about?
I think the thing that sticks out to me most, especially, having been in this as long as I've been, mostly just doing my own taxes and money with the work that I've personally done. But then when it comes to doing like booth upgrades and recently going to Dublin, how write-offs work and what exactly is the legal process behind that and what technically counts and, what does a write-off even mean for your taxes? What does that do? So that's probably where I'm most interested, because I'm at the point in my personal career where I'm making investments in myself as well. So what does that look like legally and monetarily on the tax end?
Well, you know what? It's going to, and something you may want to think about, the money that you're going to pay a CPA to do your taxes, whether it be, mine's like $350, $380, if he or she can find things in that you can write off that will go over that, and most times he does, it's worth getting a CPA to know that what you're doing is legit.
Yeah. Okay, that's great.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, yeah, that's what I wanted to know. Lacey, thank you so much. I think this was a fun episode, Bobbi.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about money.
Money.
Yeah, kept it hopefully relatively entertaining. Because we don't want to be a bunch of nerds up in this piece,
It was fun.
It was fun. Oh, by the way, shout out to, I'm going to try really quick, João. João is listening to us today in Portugal, Bobbi. So,
what?
Yeah, he sent me an email and wanted to know my advice on his microphone setup, but he's got like a locker of great microphones. He's got the 416, he's got the TLM, and anyway, he's got good mix.
João, a good VO friend of both of ours, just moved to, I want to say she's in Lisbon, Diana.
Oh, Diana Birdsall, that's right.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you're looking for, somebody to connect with, I don't know what city you're in, but thanks for listening.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of expats going to Portugal.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Anyway, we better stop before we go off on a tangent. The Making Waves VO podcast presented by Full Compass, fullcompass.com.
We know VO, and we know money too.
The Making Waves VO podcast is produced by K2 Media Productions with hosts Kevin Kilpatrick and Bobbi Maxwell. Sound design and editing by Jason Traver. Production assistance by Lacey Deline. Publicity and social media by Shannon Scott and Silas Phillips. Be sure to subscribe to the Making Waves VO podcast on your favorite platform. For all episodes, merchandise, gear, and more, visit makingwavesvo.com. Until next time, I'm AJ McKay. Keep making waves.